Welcome to the depths.
Hello everyone and welcome to the very third recording of a 2v2 match from the Settlers' New Allies. This time around we'll be playing against the same enemies from the community on a map we haven't seen before on this channel, the Depths. As usual, I'm joined by our beloved Shumi. How is it going today for you?
Yes, hello, thank you. Welcome watching people. I am Shumi, indeed. My day is going quite poorly, but I don't want to pull the mood down. I will be fine. And this game is one of the funniest one. In this game, Terminus did try to do something extraordinary. He tried Scout Rush. You have probably figured that out from the thumbnail. And well, let's see how it goes.
Yeah, you will probably know, if you're playing the Settlers already, that scout rushing is not that usual for the Depths for this map. Because, well, you can't cheese your way through the bandits that easily as you maybe have seen we can do on the Ruins, for example, which we've shown already on this YouTube channel. You really need to fight your way through at least some of those bandits with the scouts, and therefore I wasn't really sure whether it's worth it to play the scout strategy, well, the explorer strategy to be precise with the naming. But I'm gonna try it anyway because I'm intrigued. It is always good to have options with your general idea, with your strategies. And therefore I'm gonna go for it, and hopefully if I mess up, Shumi will save my ass.
Yes, and another nice idea and a nice thing to mention is that Ubisoft recently nerfed a little bit the scout rushing. It was very easy to scout rush before because a scout costed you only one plank, and also you did produce two times as many planks as you do right now. So they nerfed it quite a bit. First of all, you produce the wheat. Yes, it's wheat. It's one wheat for one explorer or one scout. I will go with the explorer. It's one wheat for the explorer, and you do produce the wheat a bit slower than the wood. It's well, actually, the subsequent runs are exactly the same length. The first run is a bit slower, but you also need to pay some planks and stone to build a farm.
Yeah, and also I believe in the previous patches, when this scout rushing was easier and more powerful, the guild hall where your scouts were born, so to say, it didn't require you to build it with tools. But I'm not sure about that.
True, I think it wasn't, and I think it was actually just cheaper. They just added tools to the price.
Yeah, they did. I think they did. Well, speaking of Ubisoft and their changes and their presence within this community and the game, they have been quite active recently, and maybe if even some of you from Ubisoft are listening now, we would definitely like to express a big thank you for making our channel public, known to public, and well, pretty much helping the community to grow, because Ubisoft has reached us as to the admins of the community Discord server, and they have given us some little prizes for an upcoming tournament we're hosting for the next weekend. We will definitely try and show you at least something from the tournament. Maybe we'll stream it, and it will definitely be streamed on the Discord within the community. So everyone is welcome to join, everyone is welcome to participate. There is no starting fee or anything like that, and yeah, it is the very first time anyone's doing something like this within the Settlers' New Allies, and I'm very excited.
I can build
yes, this tournament is just come, play, have some fun, and maybe you'll win some prizes. Or at least learn something if you watch other players play or play yourself, really.
Yeah, definitely. I actually think that for us it is a little bit of a beta testing, because we definitely plan to host many more tournaments in the future. However, we are still not sure how the community, how the players and how the viewers will prefer to host it. Some might even go for teaming in advance before the tournament starts. Some might go for individual random teams. And we will just see, wing it to some level, how it's gonna play out. And we will use all the data we'll gather to host some better, more quality tournaments with higher prizes. Hopefully higher prizes, that's on Ubisoft, wink wink, in the future.
Yes. No, nothing more to add to that. Though I would go a little bit over what we're doing right now in the game. You see that Duranix is building a lot of farms. Because as I said, the scouts do need wheat to be produced. That's what he's doing here. I, on the other hand, I love this transition timing. I, on the other hand, am going for a standard. I already pre-built a furnace and a blacksmith, and I am now going to build some mines. There is a coal mine, and I'm going for a standard, boring army and victory. Yes, the victory part is the fun.
Well, while it might be standard and so to say boring, the timing of yours is definitely not standard. If you can look up to the top left corner of Shumi's screen, he has started building his military production at the 6th minute, which is really impressive considering you actually need to expand to this territory. And I think Shumi is gonna give our opponents very hard time. Even though, shout out to Heb and Baranek once again, they are very good players and I always enjoy playing against them. Or with them, for that matter.
Yes, or just talk to them without playing.
Yeah, that's true.
They are just
that's true.
good people.
There are a lot of discussions held within the community. I'm a little bit surprised by that, to be honest, because many people, I'm gonna repeat myself, but many people said this game has almost no depth to it. And I swear we will show you it's...
What is that road?
Oh, excuse me.
What is that road? I need to talk about that road. What
yeah.
is that road? What is that kinky road? Duranix?
Yeah, I didn't claim this area, and it's temporary.
No, they are. This road right here.
It's temporary. I hope it is. But that road leads to the proper military production, and that's not my main focus in the moment. So I'm gonna ignore that for the time being, because I really want to produce my army, my scout rush, production as soon as possible. And one more thing I'm gonna mention with this strategy, you definitely want to be Elari for this, because your toolmaker is cheaper, and your farms are way cheaper as well. So if you want to scout rush, even though some might call it cheesing, even though some might call it well, not the honorable strategy, so to say, it is a part of the game, and if you want to go for it, definitely choose Elari.
I mean, cheesing. It's in the game. If you can do something against it, then it's not cheesing, right?
Yeah.
And you definitely can do something against it.
We will actually see whether it works out for me in the late game on this match. So.
Spoiler alert.
Well, it's not a spoiler.
Yeah. I, on the other hand, you've seen it already. For example, in Valley of Prayer, the last match against Baranek and Hefa.
I love hard.
I also built exactly like that. In probably pretty much exactly the same time.
Oh, that's interesting. The other, I'm gonna actually mention another thing within the way I'm trying to build. You can see that I'm progressively building my farms so that I'm gonna be able to connect them to my proper military production in the late game or in the mid game, because you can use these to produce your adventure or explorer or scout or whatever production you have. Yeah, you can see that we are a little confused because these names has been changed so many times. And
They changed them, yeah.
And anyway, those farms are currently used for the scout production, but it can later be turned to produce your flour, to produce your bread, and that's gonna be used to boost your coal mines. And therefore you wanna build them close by the coal mine production, which will be built in the future or is being built right now. For Shumi though, they are all running for ages now.
how to begin this sentence. I will probably not build bread production for a long time. I don't remember the game really. I will not build a bread production for a long time because you have to coal spots on this map, so you don't need too much more coal. But additional coal and then maybe a second furnace is actually possible on this map.
Yeah.
Actually, a third furnace will be possible.
Yeah, speaking about the map layout, that's actually a good point. We should do that. There is one huge difference in between this map and the others we've shown already, which were the Valley of Prayer and the Durham's City. Yeah. The main difference is that all the trees you're looking at right now are not regrowing, and therefore we will eventually run against some wood production issues if we don't manage to either build foresters, which is extremely it's just so expensive and ineffective, or you can fight for some regrowing trees which are positioned a little more in between you and your closest enemy. You will see this position later. I will talk about it a little. But in general, I wouldn't recommend building those foresters. What would you say about it?
Great point. If you wish to overproduce something, I'm fine with foresters. If you want to build a lot of wood production at the beginning, you can then at some point also build foresters. They are not good at the beginning. At the beginning you have enough wood, and I would not go for them because, as you said, they are expensive. And expensive we mean they cost, I think, in a sum about 15 units of wood and materials. But I also like I count. I do the magic that I count a tool as 2 materials.
Yeah, well, it's produced of these two, of one piece of wood and one piece of stone, so yeah, you can do that. But anyway, if you consider Shumi's strategy, for example, this rushing the proper military production, this initial forest, which you have at the shore, at your initial warehouse, is plenty enough to move your production at the position we're looking at currently. And then you have another forest of non-regrowing trees to the top right of Shumi's screen right now. And you also have another non-regrowing forest to the south from his initial warehouse, to the south from his screen right now. And all these, all of those forests are quite close within reach, and that will be plenty enough to support your military production. And you don't really need to rush for any foresters if you're gonna go for this type of strategy, I think. Although, if your enemy is good and manages to stop your initial wave of attack from your proper military, I'm talking about proper military. If you want to know what I mean by that, is the proper guardians, archers, or warriors, because the not scouts. Yeah, scouts are somewhat improper. They are in between an engineer who is absolutely useless in combat and someone like an archer or a guard. Anyway, yeah. What was I talking about?
I have no idea. You wanted to say... oh, I actually forgot. I don't know what you're saying about.
Yeah, doesn't matter. The general idea, I think, was that Shumi is building his proper military production, and yeah, I know now. I remember. If his initial wave gets pushed back or destroyed, then he will eventually run into those wood production issues, because he will eventually have to face the wave of the enemy as well. And yeah, at that time he'll have to face the big question: do I go for foresters, or do I try to build another wave of my military and try to secure those regrowing forests for me? That's actually a big question, and it all comes to another topic, I think, and that is research. I think we have underestimated research in the previous matches by a whole lot, because I've actually been somewhat researching research, so to say. I've been going a lot more heavily into research lately, and there are five skill trees to somewhat survey or to research in total, and some of those buffs it grants you are just insane. For example, on this map, those regrowing forests we keep on talking about, they are positioned close by salt lakes. If you don't know what salt lakes cause you to face, so to say, in this game, they cause your units to be enabled to regenerate health. That's one of the three, I believe, locations that can occur on various maps. It's the salt lakes, it's the swamps, and it's lake. Okay, yeah. Anyway, there are those salt lakes. They have this debuff effect on your troops, but if you research a certain tree, you will eventually get to the point where you get a damage bonus close by on these salt lakes, and also you will have damage reduction close by trees, which, well, we are going for regrowing trees in this scenario, and therefore that's a huge advantage to go for that. A huge possible advantage. That being said, it is quite hard to get to these areas within the research. It is very expensive. So I'm not sure. I'm really not sure what's the best strategy on this map, to be honest. And once again, I think that's great.
There is one. I think you can. Well, I still think you can play whatever you feel like playing, as long as you just don't die, really. And if you don't die, then someday you already will win. Someday you will win.
That is true. That is true.
That was a sentence.
Yeah.
Very sorry for that.
But I totally agree with you, even though you said it a little bit weirdly. Because well, by the way, you can see me now expanding this farm production to those windmills and bakeries already, so I can boost those coal mines as we have mentioned before. And yeah, you are absolutely right. If you can defend, if you can block these initial waves of the enemy, you can always turn this game around pretty easily, actually, which is very important to know and exciting, because many games, many strategy games in particular, are a little bit, well, when you can see where the game goes from the beginning, from the early game, and in the settlers, in this game, if you face a very good opponent who can actually defend themselves, they can turn everything around and surprise you.
Yes, and every mistake in this game just piles up and hurts you in the long run. There are, for example, people who do play quick military, but they forget about residences, or they forget about wood and stone, and then stone runs out, they have no stone, and that hurts them immensely in the late game, because, for example, they cannot build gem mines, which are quite expensive.
Well, speaking of that, that's actually another good topic. What would you say are like the top 3 biggest mistakes?
Top 3 biggest mistakes. Top 1, forgetting residences.
Definitely.
That's the first one.
I agree on that.
The second one, if you don't have a regrowing forest, forgetting about wood.
Yeah.
Actually, that will be the third one, because that doesn't happen so often. And then forgetting about stone. There you go. Three biggest mistakes.
So it is the most elemental and basic stuff, to be honest.
Yes.
And once again, I have actually mentioned that before on the previous video, but yeah, it seems, and here you can see the salt lake, by the way, in the top right, bottom right corner on my view. And you could already see the mentioned regrowing tree forest.
And the army of scouts.
Yeah, well, it's something, it's not an army, but yeah, as you can see, this regrowing forest is protected by bandits. I believe you could probably sneak an engineer or two and build a logging camp here. Which is probably what I should have done, but I'm trying to play the early game, not the long game. Therefore, I want to attack my enemy as soon as possible. because I've got these scouts, and my advantage is
Yes.
now, not a minute later. Therefore, I need to
Yes,
push through these bandits.
The scouts will win you the game in the early, but in the late game they are just useless.
Same
They
goes for
have
the middle.
costed you. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
They have costed you a lot of materials, a lot of time, and well, you now have nothing for that because the scouts will not help you in a fight.
Yeah.
Not made for that.
To be honest, since this was the first time I was trying this strategy on this map, I didn't build it really well. I could have connected these farms to research sooner. My wood and stone production wasn't on point as well. Coming back to those general issues, right? General mistakes.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah, you can already see Shumi going for research while I don't have an academy or even an idea about building an academy so far.
Yeah. Also, what I have forgotten what I wanted to say here. Oh, you have built one guild hall, which trains those scouts,
Yeah.
but guild hall is very slow at
Yeah.
that. It can only train one scout. I was actually thinking that you will build a second one.
I was definitely
produce
thinking about
two
that
scouts.
during building this this production as well. But then again, guild hall can be a little bit expensive, even though I'm playing as a Larry. And therefore, I just didn't go for it because I wasn't that committed within this strategy. Maybe it would have worked out for me better than this, because you can see that half of the army, so to say, have died. And yeah, I don't have enough troops to attack right now. I don't think, because if Baranek or Hep, who I will face now, are on the same level of production as Shumi is, which is hard, but it is possible, they will definitely crush these units, and therefore making me very vulnerable.
Yeah, you're saying about my production right now. I did not go for an early unit production. I think I have everything that I need for unit production there. I just did not build the units.
Yeah.
So they would need to be a bit further.
Yeah,
than
you
I
were
have.
saving your population to build up your economy, I think.
Yes, even though I
Yeah,
never had really
you can
troubles
see
with population.
Baranek's army right there. They will definitely crush me. I think I'm actually gonna fall back. But
I don't remember.
yeah,
what
but
you're going to
I
do.
have already exposed my troops, and Baranek now knows that his way is free, and I am probably defenseless. And if you have already watched the previous match against Baranek and Hep, once again, shout out to them, they have actually lost, most probably, because they had no defenses. They had none towers built. And I have already built a tower, but not on the side where my troops are coming from. And
Yes,
this is an issue I have spoken with Baranek about, because he didn't build these defenses before, and I have actually repeated his mistake. And this match took place immediately after the previous one, the previous record.
Yes.
So imagine me playing this right now. I feel like an idiot.
You're schooling your teacher right now. He will show you how to do it.
Yeah.
Also, it is exactly the same way that we've lost. I think a bit later when we played against another two players from the community, where I built a tower exactly like you built this one, and they just moved in from the other side.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
Well, the thing is, when you're playing against random people, you don't really need to plan this much ahead, or this anything that advanced, because random players in the PvP of the settlers are usually not that good, to be honest. And every time I play against the guys from the Discord, they are good. They are very good. Not all of them. There are many casual players who want to focus on playing against AI, which not necessarily means they are bad, but it means their focus is elsewhere. But some of those we are playing usually against are very good. And yeah, you can see that even though the numbers of the troops seem to be similar. My troops are very inferior in comparison with Baranix.
Yes, you pretty much have, what would it be, 12 units right there. Within your 24.
And even, yeah. Considering the 14 scouts and S2 units, you could probably do that.
Yes. And I came to help you. I still don't have that many units.
Yes, but you have evened the odds, and we have scared him off.
Yeah.
Which
into the Salt Lake.
big thank you for that. By the way, if you might notice some units having some sort of a purple aura around them, and that's caused by them actually being affected by the Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Also, the announcement that our troops are tired, that's also caused by that, while extremely annoying.
Yes.
An ally is under attack.
Yes, that is annoying. I love this game for those annoying announcements. They are so lovely.
Yeah. We've spoken about that already, but it should be all the time. Well, we haven't faced our troops are tired yet.
Reporting in.
Oh, and you can see Hep actually pushing through the middle, which, to be honest, is probably something I should have done, because going through the middle is, I think, a little bit easier.
An ally is under
It is easier, but then you have to face both of your opponents.
Oh, yeah.
You actually did the right
That's
thing.
true.
Is there a job to do?
You did the right thing, and well, I will have the problems with Hefa right now, or Hep. I call him Hefa. You call him Hep. I hope people are all right with that.
enemy
Yeah.
in sight.
Well, the turkey's
Yeah.
player.
Right. We should actually go for colors, even though we should mention who is the player. Well, that's for the future video. We should mention who's the player and what color he has, and then go on for the colors.
I guess.
People watching.
Well, in a 4v4 match,
can
it would
understand.
definitely be a whole lot more confusing. And we actually went with colors on our 4v4 recording. Yeah.
An ally is under attack.
Yeah. Then
I wanna
Here's Hep, who
speak
actually
about,
did a great
yes,
thing.
This is absolutely awesome. Using the recall option, which is casted by you in the UI, by the way. Not many people know about it, or some might forget about it. I'm not talking about me. This is extremely important to use it at the right time, and you could see Shumi imprisoning the enemy, Turkey's guy, if we use the colors,
yes.
in between his armies, and he lured him underneath, precisely into the position where he wanted him. And that's just, it was very well played.
Yeah, and if you're asking where the units came from, those were the units that helped Daranix defeat the other guy,
Exactly.
the blue enemy.
Yeah, and I got overexposed right there, because I think I didn't realize that you have recalled.
Oh,
I need
Yeah.
some
well,
And
I thought
yeah.
I hoped I said that.
I'm not sure. Maybe I didn't realize because I was preoccupied. That sometimes happens to me.
Yeah.
But you are
Yeah.
already coming to my aid again, so I'm...
Yes, and I also building the tower so that because I now have the recall on cooldown
Yes.
and cannot do that for a long time now.
Yeah,
I have to defend that
I
side.
think it's 5 to 10 minutes to cool down of recall, isn't it?
It's a long
Yeah.
one. I didn't calculate it.
Yeah,
That's something we should do in my research.
Definitely. If you're not sure what Shumi is referring to, we're doing a lot of research behind the mechanics of this game.
Yeah.
Mainly, yeah, this is gonna hurt me. Watch all those engineers. Yeah, they are so slow at running away. And they also have to leave their building site one by one. They can't build it all at once. Leave it all at once.
Yeah.
That one is dead as well. Yeah, here he goes.
Well, thankfully you have everything to build more
Yes.
of them. Yeah, there you go. You're already building them.
I am, but my academy comes at the 30th minute, which is horrible. My play, it's not good. My build is not good right there. And I don't think scout rushing is good on this map in general, but it could have been played way better than I did.
Yeah, that's actually what we said, what we talked about. You scout rushed, and you are now behind in the later stages of the
Yes.
game, where a proper army comes in, and well, whoops, yours.
And I didn't even have the defenses to defend myself. If it wasn't for Shumi, I would be done. Yeah, I am just lucky that he came to my aid.
Mm-hmm. My game is actually going pristine. I'm surprised that I have a proper army production, and I already have built 2 gem mines right
Yeah.
there.
Any orders?
They are so expensive. They cost 20 materials each,
Yes.
10 stone, 10 wood.
And you're also going
that's expensive.
through research in the meanwhile.
I am. I think I have a few things researched there.
Our
That is true.
troops
Yeah,
are
I think we will see the difference in between research and unresearched troops immediately right now.
I feel.
Those are your troops, aren't they?
No,
Or
that's
they
all
mine?
you. I don't have.
Oh, that's all
I
me.
don't have that many troops at this point. Not at all. I'm orange, by the way.
enemy inside.
Yes, so it may be that he is streaming the game to me, and orange and red are very similar to
Ah, yeah, that makes sense. It actually, it could have been thought through a little bit better, so that you are not the almost similar color as your ally. It confuses people a little bit.
Well, it's not hard in the game. It's just hard when you're sample it down, do it in a, what is it? Well, a little window.
Yeah.
Stream it via Discord, which also has a limitation. Yeah.
Well, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Enemy inside.
Yeah, we're doing the best out of it.
Yeah.
I think.
By the way, we could see blue guy, blue player running through the bandit camps, which you really don't want to do. I think he actually tried to lure you underneath these.
The envoys asked
Yes,
me to look right here.
did we see if I dodged them? Because I do remember that I very nicely dodged them.
Yeah, you dodged them completely. You actually, it was obvious that your units didn't want to go in at all.
Yeah, and the units that he lost right there, those might have been enough to defend here, but right now he lost them. Oh, they are still coming.
Yeah,
And those are
I'm
not
actually surprised that he didn't build any defenses so far.
Order
Because-
True,
received.
actually, he should have probably started defending this after you
because
came
there was
the
a
first
lot
time
of
around.
action in this area, and yeah. And so far he had the upper hand. He didn't have his economy disturbed, so probably he should have had enough resources to do so. But we
Yes.
can see another thing I want to address. We can see Hepa being quite passive throughout these fights. He has he showed his army for a little while, and it was just a few troops. And I will once again blame it on the map. On the previous recording, I have mentioned that, or maybe it was you, I'm not sure. We have mentioned that Hepa, he is usually playing 1v1 matches. He is very good at these. But I think he's playing this map for the first time as well as he did with the previous one. So it might appear to you that we are always showing these matches that we won. And that's just a coincidence, because we want to show you interesting matches, which this definitely is, at least in our opinion. And it's just a coincidence that Hepa didn't know this map, while still being an awesome player. He just it is a huge disadvantage not to know the map layout in this game.
Yes, and also we don't generally lose that many matches. I don't say that we never lose a match. We of course lose 1 or 2 matches here and there. But we just don't record every single match, and therefore all that we've recorded right now were matches that we've won, and matches that were interesting were matches that we've won. That's why you're seeing a lot of them.
Yes.
Don't blame us. Actually, blame us. We can't do anything
By the
against
way,
that.
addressing your play, I love that you are attacking from a flank, from another area.
From the other side, yeah.
That is very well done. If you don't realize what's happening, Shumi is basically playing 1v2 right now, and I'm just a puppet. I'm just an extra in the story.
I think I'm hurt.
I just hope that he holds.
Well, and since we have spoken a little about the production of our videos, I think a good thing to say about this is that we would value any feedback, because we're still new and our general goal is to make the community grow, make the game more popular and show it in a better light, as we have stated many times before. And well, any feedback would help us do so, and therefore it would be very much appreciated.
Yes, and we also do not only want to get better in the game, we also want to get better in the YouTube thing.
Yes.
And if you'll help us, well, we will be very thankful.
It is precisely, precisely as you say.
I'm amazed that you're still building scouts.
Well,
I understand that you probably cannot do a lot more. But scouts?
yeah, I keep on doing that because I have an overwhelming farm production, and I have enough population to do so. My military production is very much behind, and therefore, well, I'm just going with what I can. And by the way,
I love what you did there.
yeah, by the way, you could see me very desperately trying to slow the Turkey's player down by simply putting blueprints of towers in front of his army, which, surprising to me, the game mostly doesn't allow you, and that is really impressive. That is well done.
Yeah,
that is thought through.
And what Darrenix is also waiting for are my troops who are coming to help him.
Well, this part, even though we've played this match a few days ago, quite a few actually, and we are doing the voiceover later, I remember this one because I desperately need Shumi's help. I get that he's preoccupied by attacking the Turkish guy, the Turkish player, but I'm starting to be lost on my side, which you'll see quite soon, I think. And Shumi's troops, well, let's say you are in for a treat. Do you remember what's gonna happen, Shumi?
An ally is under attack.
I don't, but I know that there were a few troops that were coming to you.
Yeah, they were. Your initial your thinking was right, but you were preoccupied right there. And yeah, you will see.
Oh, I missed the opponent.
My troops are all dead. The opponents are attacking my city, and Shumi's troops, they have just ran past. They went for a hiking trip.
Yes,
They've just said, you know what, those salt mines, we love them so much, we wanna see more of them. You know, the salt, it's good on our skin. We wanna enjoy.
You know, the unit production requires meat, but what is meat without salt?
Oh, yeah. We shouldn't go into this because many people are pissed that the food production is a little too much simplified. But yeah, eventually your troops came and saved my ass once again, even though my academy didn't have to be destroyed. I'm not holding it against you. Not at all.
I think it was a fair sacrifice. Also, you could have just told me we were on communication.
I told you
there.
like 3 times.
Well, I take it on my fault.
But by the way, the advantage of research, once again, in action. You could see Shumi perfectly using the ooze ability from the literalist, which has been researched recently by Shumi, and yeah, it gives you a huge advantage. The slow is like the first research allows you to slow the enemy troops by 50%, I believe. Am I right?
For 5 seconds, yes.
5 seconds, yeah. And what does the second research do? Does it?
For 10 seconds.
Yeah, and it doesn't make them slow even more.
No.
Slowed.
Look at it, it survived.
Yeah. Shumi's play is just impeccable on this map. It is very well done. And it is actually not the first time. Shumi has actually managed to pull off 2v1 on this map several times, and we have another one come in, another recording from this map coming mainly from Shumi, who has he played exceptionally once again, but I'm not sure whether he's actually gonna manage. against 2v1 once again. After all, I'm not gonna spoil the ending.
Enemy in sight.
That might have been difficult there.
Yeah.
Yes, and please don't spoil.
But yeah, the thing I wanted to say, it will once again be a very interesting match where Shumi is basically playing a 2v1. Well, but
Yeah,
why not?
right
Yeah.
here, you actually don't need to destroy the enemy unit's production. I don't know why I'm going for it. I probably wanted to just kill his units there. Because if you leave just one unit there, then no carrier will go past you.
Because he's scared.
Yeah, they will be scared to go past you, and you will be. You don't have to just destroy it. You can go for the warehouses right now.
The thing, I think you have actually chosen to do so because you just wanted to weaken them in general, and you wasn't probably sure whether you could pull the entire destruction out with such a small army. That's my guess.
That may also be the case. I don't know. I generally think very quickly and not always right.
But at this point, you can see that Shumi has in fact progressed into the heart, so to say, of the Turkish player, and our blue enemy went a little too offensive, and he didn't come to aid.
He tried to defend.
That's well, setting the issue of the blue players' 0 towers behind. I think this is another big mistake, because I have played horribly, but I'm still alright. I'm still living because of Shumi and his effort to help. But these units that are attacking Shumi right now, I think blue player could have actually used them to protect the Turkish one. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he also knew that more of my units will be coming, and he did not have the units to protect against this. Together with a few healers. The healers are actually very strong in the armies.
That is very true. But our Turkey's enemy has just left the game, or maybe he's spectating, but
he's been defeated,
eliminated.
Yes, in this game you only need to destroy warehouses. Probably you have seen it before. And that was his last warehouse, that's why he was defeated.
Well, speaking about the victory conditions, that is actually a good topic. I don't think we've mentioned that before. In the Settlers New Allies, there is a general main victory condition, which is based on the idea of you destroying the enemy's warehouses.
Yes.
But there is also another way, and that is actually map dependent. On this map, the only way to win is to destroy enemies' warehouses. But there are some maps which not many people know of. Some maps which has different winning conditions, like gathering or making some sort of production, which you will be more advanced than your enemy. And I think that the developers have actually confirmed that more of these maps or winning conditions will be coming in the future, which is really good to hear.
That is actually a new information to me too.
Yeah, I think I've read it on the forums when it was still active before.
Damn.
An ally is under
Great.
attack.
Also, there is one map, it's called Goldmore, which I thought was a hated map by absolutely everyone, because you cannot do anything with your opponents. Well, you cannot do anything against them if they're good. And so nobody really plays this map. But then, recently, I've met a person who actually loves to play that map. And I don't understand it.
I have actually, I was as surprised as you were, but I have met multiple people who actually prefer to play that. So yeah, people are really interested in different winning scenarios, which is great. And since we probably can expect some of them coming, it's even better.
Yeah, and I was thinking, well, people will say that they don't want to play Goldmore. We can just ban it right away in the tournament because that's so boring.
Yeah.
And right now I'm like, wait, no, you want to play it really? I think that map is horrible, but
Is under attack.
of course, people are different, and I'll accept it. If I have to play gold more in any tournament, yes, I will.
Well, I think this match will end soon, so I will once again thank you for watching. I want to welcome you and invite you to join our community of the Settlers' New Allies. We appreciate every single one of you and your time you've put into watching this game. Hope you've enjoyed, and see ya.
Thank you. And Daranix, sorry for the academy.